Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, the reading we have here for you today is a reading of soulmates, lovers, twin flames, whatever you may call them. I see them as slightly different. I do believe that we have now a lot of people who are on an ascension path or are working a lot with energies and the intuitions around them. They gather people around them who reflect many aspects of themselves, and very often what we call as our karmic partners, and find easy to punch them or wish them away. We actually find that they may be extremely helpful because we may have them and our partners may have them, but essentially they're people who have made contracts to be able to help us and the people we love in our lives, whether it's a romantic partner or whether it's people who are in our family and in our friends, who work with people for us to be able to get to know who we are and also get to know where we want to go. So most of the readings I do where it comes to people in romantic relationships will be based on analogy not only of the different aspects of our own selves, which are our masculine and feminine, that are trying to find balance with each other, but also of the way in which we attract people who come to teach us what we need to in our lives, and of course hoping for an ultimate divine union where we will be at peace, and that's when we will be able to find peace and complete harmony with another. And that's essential because that's just the gate at which we stand to be able to take the lessons we have learned in coming into union to be able to be of service. So I have to say that I did shuffle these cards, and I had 3 decks. This side was supposed to be the energies of one of the aspects of self or a partner, and this side is to be the other side. So one of them would be like what we would call like a masculine side, and one would be our feminine side. And I would love for you to have the ability to see it through the lens of this also being the energies that we are fighting sometimes between us. Right here in the middle is what they mean, or how these energies connect in us or between other people that we are going to be working out all of our ego and karma with, to be able to clear it out, to be able to be in a state of union. I was saying earlier, of course I'm so nervous, it's my first video, but what I was saying was I had shuffled the cards and put them out here, and I recorded my first video, and for some reason the YouTube recording did not upload. So this is my second attempt. I didn't want to change the spread because I think that it's a really important spread, and it tells us about some other angles of being in partnerships or being human. It's not only about love, it is the kind of work we do and what we're clearing to be more worthy of love, and learn to basically in some way love ourselves. In addition to these cards right here, which are like 12, I had these 3 cards that had also come out, which I will open later because they were like towards the end, and I will pick a few special cards just for this reading so we can like round everything off and have it be pertaining to the session in which we are right now, keeping in mind the time. So I'm going to start with this side. So if this side is one of our aspects, I had honestly taken it as a sign of ourselves, which is more outward, which is more masculine, is that there is definitely some new beginning coming up. For the overall energy says it's a new beginning that's going to be coming up or offered for the masculine, and it's most likely going to be like a new job and maybe a new opportunity about work, or they're rethinking something about work. This seems to have come from a place where I think that it's like divine intervention, where I think that they're going through something at this time, where this seems to have come as like a miraculous solution to some situation that they are in some way struggling with in their lives right now. And I think this may be something that is given as a blessing for them in like a harder time in their life, but it also makes them feel extremely grounded in like the more traditional tarot sense. Being a pentacle card, it's something new, and it also is very much to do with the energies, or the person referred to in this card could have strong earth sign elements of Taurus, Capricorn and Virgo, and it being the Virgo moon, any of these three obviously will like come to the surface. What I see here in this card, the Eight of Pentacles, is that there seems to be something where the masculine energy is looking and taking an assessment of the work they've put in and the remuneration they have got in that. They seem to be ready to do more work, because I don't think that they are satisfied. They are just, it's like an assessment, and I think that they are looking to find a little more. With this energy coming in, it looks like the 8 would become a 9, which would take us further to this 10, which means that this is what I think they are hoping for. This is where they see themselves or have seen themselves, and they've made an assessment. This energy coming in shows that they have new opportunities to further the cachet they have here, leading us to the 10 of Pentacles, again an earth sign. So there's strong earth signs here. This shows us that they have a dream in the future of, or what they're thinking of now is something much larger, and for them to be able to be financially stable. They are grounded. It's not like it doesn't show any lack in this area. All these cards are upright. It's just showing that there is a need for more security, for them to be able to in some way keep their homes secure. They want their work secure, and I think that from what it looks to me, there seems to be a very big energy of security added from like the inner child in them has an immense need to be secure, which shows that this person must be a person who would be very much like a workaholic, and work seems to be like the center stage. And very often when they may have problems in their life, they would revert to like being productive at work, because that helps them be able to like at least make something for themselves which is independent, and they can invest as much energy as they want in it, versus when they want to block out other areas of their lives that may not be working. Why do we think that? We think that because we have a star card, and if you see, it's the only major arcana card in the deck in our spread here today, and the star card is reversed. So the reverse star card is showing us that there seems to be something on the mind of the masculine, or one of the energies that we're talking about here, which is not really happy in where they find themselves. There seems to be something where it's like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Is the universe conspiring against me? Because it's like it seems like they don't feel supported. On the other hand, if you take a deeper look, the card, and go through whatever it is that seems like some kind of curse or tough situation that they find themselves in, they will know why the universe has put them in the situation they are in right now, and it requires them to be a little more contemplative and spiritual. I think that it's a good thing for them to be in a place where they have to make an assessment, because I think this is something that I don't think has been easy for them to do. So it's something that they're doing which is very important, They want to have financial stability to be able to be secure on one level, so that they have the energy to be able to take on whatever the universe is telling them in terms of being able to make or look at some of the changes that are coming from within. Let's go on to this side. This side, we have the overall energy is the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords, for like what I had pulled out as the feminine energy, is the energy where we are, or a feminine is raging forward to want to speak some truth. In this, it's a speaking of truth, but from what my understanding in terms of what the spread has come out today is that it's more like there has been a truth about their lives that has been revealed to them. A truth that suddenly came forward without and it's been around. So it's like, seeing something emerge suddenly. It's like something that's been around you and you just brushed it past because there were so many other things. At some point, there is something about their lives that has just suddenly pierced through everything else, and it's something very simple, but it has come forward, which is causing over here a lot of rift. The rift and the fight in this is, I think a lot of the fight is within themselves, and a lot of the fight is also being played out in like their mind because of the Knight over here who's charging forward with the truth. It's like about that's something which is which seems wrong, and it could blow out into into some kind of altercation with someone because some truth has been revealed. Now, very often you will think that this truth is only going to be something that has to come about because women, we very often see that there is something the masculine is doing to us and we are wanting that we figured a truth out. I don't think it's like that. At this reading, it feels, even though it's a reading for lovers, I think this is the time when everybody is doing work in their own corners to be able, it's like getting dressed to go to the ball. But I think there's a lot of work that goes on in getting dressed, and part of this energy here with the full moon in Virgo, where everything is looked at very critically, and there is a lot of self-reflection, which is what the Virgo energies are like, is being able to bring out things from the nooks and crannies that we've safely tucked away because it's too ugly for us to deal with, or it's too emotional for us to deal with, or will be like a dam that bursts. But right now, this energy is not directly, I think, related in association with the divine masculine. This is something going on in their own lives because there are a number of people here. Now, going from here, we come to the next card, which is a direct progression. That wherever we are over a period of time, we will find that we will emerge as in some way like winners once we finish this. So this could also be an acute anxiety about something that you have on your mind, but you will be in a place where you overcome it. Please see these two cards right here, the 10 of Pentacles and the 6 are very positive cards in where we are right now. So I'm going to take it more as what is happening in terms of where are the energies being spent in terms of being able to do our own work in our own camps. So in this, the feminine energy has been battling something and has the desire to do something or talk about something, bring out a truth. But I think that this one is where she will emerge victorious, and in this, even though these are simple minor arcana cards, I think it's something very important because from what it looks like, there is a emerging of the feminine self at center stage, Where when you see these two cards, they're different. She could be any one of these people who's lost in this group here. But here you can very clearly see one of the feminine energies emerging victorious in some way and also being center stage. So when I read this and I see myself in it, it's like I've been a tarot card reader for many years. I never thought I would be able to put something online, but something has moved me to do that. So that could be a thinking. There's been an extreme stress and anxiety about something, but it is something that will put us more in the spotlight where we are ready to have ourselves open to scrutiny, which was so fearful. And that resisted us from being able to come, like to the playground and actually play, or like come to a place where we would be able to be counted. How it goes, who knows, but at least seems to be some kind of hurdle that has been crossed, where it was all about it seems very much like self-esteem and a person who is willing to do what it takes to stand up for themselves. So I gave you an example of where I see this happening to me, but I can also tell you that would be only one of the aspects of my life, right? This can come up in our own personal relationships, in the amount of energy we put towards others, and I'm going to explain that as we go. Now, over here, the card that comes at the bottom of the feminine energy is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is about anxieties and worries, but I think in this card it's more about mental stress of suddenly things feeling like they are way bigger than than they actually are, and those kinds of things have been stressing us out to the point where there is a reason to feel like you want to avoid these by pretending they're not things that have to happen. You would find people wanting to do other things, find reasons to go and sleep more, and because there's lots on your mind, and it's not because you don't want to do anything, it's because you're trying to in some way push the inevitable of having to be in this place. These are the cards for now. Now let's see what actually the energies are telling us in between these two. So now, like I said earlier, I want you to see these as energies which you have in different aspects in which you relate to other people, but also in aspects to whichever part of these sides you can see yourself on, and you may see yourself here, 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 and here with your partner. Right now, I feel that there is some kind of idea brewing between them. So in this, I'm going to talk about two people specifically, the masculine and the feminine sides. In this, there is some kind of ideas about each other that have emerged. She's got a new idea. This is something new brewing, and there is definitely something which the feminine wants to charge forward with. In a very, very physical sense, it looks like she's wanting to charge forward here. But I think that there are many other, lightning jolts that are striking in her head besides just what is going on with the masculine. But I do feel she has the ability to think, and she gets a lot of epiphanies about the masculine. I do not see this card right now as a card in which they both are interacting. I see it as a card in which there may be a lot of things that come into the feminine's mind, and maybe she is communicative. And I think that the masculine may have even received that communication well. So they have a very small budding stage of ideas about wanting to have something new, but I don't think they've discussed them with each other in terms of love. I think they may have discussed these in terms of work that they want to do. This card can show that there is something new which is not really clear right now. So there seems to be confusion, even though there may be a seed. there is no concrete way in which we think we are going to be able to know where the seed is going to plant. We are going to plant this seed, or what kinds of bushes are going to come out of these. I mean, are we going to get flowers? Are we going to get fruits? Are they going to be huge, like redwood trees? Who knows? But I know that there is a seed of something. So it's definitely creeping forward. One party wants to rush forward, the other one wants to stay where they are, and they still have a ways to go. If you look at this, the pentacle is here, but there is still a path for the masculine to walk before he enters like the portal, where things will change for him, and it will be, if it's truly a twin flame or a divine union, things, if they come together, once he goes through that portal, he'll see everything very differently. But we are a little distance away from that. The next card here, which is about these two, which describes these two, is the six of coins, or the 6 of pentacles. And this card is reversed. When the 6 of coins comes out as a reversed card, it's talking about an unequal give and take. And it seems like as if charity is done like only one way. Now, it's important because when you see this and then you talk about these two energies and how it influences in this way, I think that there may be a situation that the masculine has found himself in, where he has had to be able, he's been giving money or some kind of financial help in a way in which it was not, it just seemed one way, and it's like that seems to be the area in which he seems to have some reason of being taken advantage of. And this only comes out when we see this card, because here everything on the surface, which is how we see them, everything on the surface is looking like everything seems to be fine, but there's definitely something on their mind. This is like them itching to continue doing some work. And these cards here, it's like there has been an expenditure of energy and enthusiasm and help given in a way where the feminine energy or an aspect of ourselves feels taken advantage of because it's one-sided and not reciprocated. This card actually talks about what are some of the big things that the energies of the full moon and Venus are bringing up for us to look at. And I think that in its true Venus style, even in the reading, it's come across as very subtle but extremely important. So they're not like being like, it's not full of major arcana cards, it's not big strokes like, this is dying and that's coming in. It's like we need to take some time to look at the smaller details, but which actually tell us a lot about the way in which we operated in the world. So giving money, giving of yourself, seem to be the two areas in which the energies in us are looking at ourselves. We are looking at ourselves. This is definitely a moon of self-observation and contemplation about who we are and where we are going, and can we carry that with us. These seem to be the things that we seem gypped with. It's like something in this balance is not right. And I think it's essential because we've been doing this, and this is like, being the guy who always pays for everybody, or being the person who's always there for everybody. It's just one of the costumes we wear. And when we wear that, it gives us a lot of security, because that's the way in which we know we will always be part of a group. People will always like us and want us to be around. But I don't think this supermoon that has come so close is going to allow us to get away with that for ourselves anymore. It's about a time for self-love, and your self-love is telling you that you have more to who you are as humans. And I think it's time for us to be able to shed, leave the wallet, and don't have to be, yes, I can do that all the time, because you are loved exactly for who you are and not what you have to provide to others. And this kind of codependency is definitely coming up for observation, and I don't think we can escape it. And I think these are some of the new things that have come. This is like an epiphany, a lightning, not when it comes, it's not really like very clear of what is happening, but it's huge. And this is like something new, some new seed has sprouted where it's like I have to like look at this all again. So this is, I think, a very important role, and this is actually one of the reasons I did not want to redo the cards, because I think that, you know, it's not, there's no like cups cards here, I don't think so. No, it's not about like a fluffy like romantic love, but it's about us being able to like become mature rather than like wounded children, to like take stock of who we are, where we are, and like be able to actually take those hard steps forward, because that's exactly what's needed for us to have self-love, and also for us to be able to know what it means to actually truly look at another and love another. Next, let's go to the Knight of Swords. As we all say, it's like there's some secrets, there are some things hidden. I don't think it's just like a big secret. What like this card coming in this place is that I think that the epiphanies we have had about like I'm worthy and I have whatever I need are things that the masculine and feminine have been looking for since they were children. But it's like it's a secret, because these are like your deepest like heart desires, and you don't talk about them, because should someone say, you know, there's some way in which you can't have like that job which gives you the financial security, or that, you know, 10 people will tell you, oh my god, who do you think you are, how can you you know, make a YouTube video that's like for other people to do. I think it's time for, and that too is like taking an example of myself, like very concrete where we are right now. I think the secrets are about the strength we have, with which we will find within ourselves, but we have not gone out and spoken about this to anybody, because it's still at like a thought sapling stage. It's too young, and we just want to be able to take baby steps to be able to go out and see how this new way of leading life, or new way of looking at things, shedding off the old, this tried tested, that we knew if I did this people would love me, if I gave this people would love me, everybody loves being around because I, you know, am like Mr. Good Times, and like I'm there to take care of everybody, or I'm always there entertaining everybody. It's definitely like something which is, the secret here is about us being able to know that the universe is guiding us. There seems to be a lot of guidance in this secret, because the secret is coming from guidance from the universe to let us know that we are completely supported. There is like, I don't know, I'm in like I do some shamanic practice, and in that you see these as like guides from like who will come to like help you, and they're there with you, maybe like our ancestors who passed on, and like guides in this, where there are signs that come from the universe with like wings. I do see that there will definitely be wings, spikes, helmets that let us know that, you know, we are on the right track. Certain kinds of birds that you may see that emerge regularly. Also, I mean, I see this wreath here as also something which is like very lucky. And again, there's a horse in this. So anybody who has any experience of working with spirit guides, animals, or ancestors or upper world guides would know that there is a lot of help in these cards. And if you see, they don't appear in these cards. There doesn't seem to be anything. You can find the signs. In this, I find that we are here because we cannot shy away from who we are meant to be, or rather, we cannot shy away from showing the new part of us that is being birthed, because we have let go of the old. And in this, none of this is actually easy. This card is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords reversed over here talks about whatever is happening here has been so part of who we were. It's like part of the way the world knows you and sees you, that having to disengage from that is extremely anxiety causing. It's like it's a very primal anxiety which people around you won't understand, because everybody, I mean, it's so easy, right, to say, oh, you need to like be who you are, but it takes a lot of courage to be able to first see who we don't want to be, or see a side of ourselves that we need to push away, or see a side of ourselves that needs to make room for the vulnerable parts of us to be able to come to the front, to come to the fore, and to feel a sense like of abundance. That is what this card is telling us, that it's a very hard time, not in terms of like life is awful, but I think it's life is great because it is giving you this opportunity. And with the moon being so close, the way the moon works, it's like I'm sure the waves are higher because the moon will attract them to be higher, right, because it's so close. I feel it's the same exact thing. This is the like biggest full moon we will have this year, and I think the energies of this are being utilized really well, and the light is being shed on the things that we have put furthest away, because even those cannot hide anymore and need to come out to the front for us to be able to truly like have an opportunity this year to start off with being who we can be, rather than thinking that it's only about like what did my lover say to me. It's like if you want to be with like your true divine partner, we want to be able to like be extremely well dressed in our soul, to be able to go and actually be worthy of those meetings or those encounters. And in this lies the gift. So while it is hard, it's like the best gift that we can have, because our work, our really important work, is getting done. Now, I had these cards that came out, and this was in position 1. So this is apprehension. It says moving out into the world with doubt and fear, which is understandable. This is what came out for the first. Let me see if I can show you this. And can you see, like I said, when you have doubt and fear, how much they are like the creepers are growing around them, because like all you want to do is like, it's so anxious that you just want to put yourself to sleep. The apprehension is card comes on this first line, which talks about like am I ready? So you have seen there's been something which has been revealed, you know how you feel about it. It's like I need to do more, or I need to like go and like sort this out. You feel like those are the kinds of things that will bring the situation, or make you satiate you in the way you're feeling, because of course we are right and someone else is wrong, but it's not in there. We have doubt and fear because when you look at it, after you look at like blaming someone else, and it's like, what is the nuggets that the universe is giving me through this difficult situation, is very clear to us. And we know that the reason we've been wanting to blame other people is because it's something which causes us extreme fear. And there will be times when it will be like, one of those false starts. You'll start and then you stop, you start the video, it shuts down, part of it is making you happy, and then you wake up again and you're like, no, I have to do it. So that's the moving out into the world is causing us to be fearful. Having our new selves being born is causing us to be extremely fearful and very doubtful of where we are. But it's an 18 card. 18 card is like it's coming close to an end. So we've, I think, reached the end of this line of thinking, and I think that while it's a really uncomfortable, like I can put it as like hard, uncomfortable, you would wish that it would be a nightmare that would be over. You don't want to be seen as that person. You are nearly coming to the end. So if there's anything you need to do, just go do it, because you are going to be waking up into a new day. This eternal dance came out as the next card. Eternal dance right here. Let me put it in focus for you. Movement, wheel of light, path of least resistance. I don't know why you can't see it. So in this card, it's like this figure of this woman is dancing, and she's like dancing and like moving in the wind. When I read this from like the book that comes with this oracle deck, that's what it said. What I interpret from it is like to be in a state of flow, which is very similar, right? Wheel of life, something is changing. It's like the Wheel of Life card, where it's not up to us. This is when, if it was up to us, we probably would never attempt this, and like things would stay the same. I think that this is a larger plan that we have made with the universe in coming here, that at this time we want this particular anxiety for us to know that it's a marker for us to move to the next stage. Path of least resistance. So for me, it comes very much, and I've been doing a lot of practice to be in the state of flow. And in the state of flow, you just say yes to whatever is coming. And even though it's frightening, you know that if you surrender to the state of flow or to that eternal dance, you will go to places that you could not have even imagined or envisioned. So while there is doubt and fear, I think we need to surrender to where we are, and this is all in the now. The now cards seem to be talking to us in a huge way, and these cards are telling us that that's how it works, and that's what will work if you are trying to do something to be able to be in a place of being honest with yourself. You know what you need to do. You know that the outcomes of whatever is hard is going to be so worth it, that you will remember this beginning of 2019 as the game changer, where suddenly you came out as a new and improved version of yourself, with all of those other characters where we were, like, it's like if you look at it in one way, everything is upside down, and sometimes what we have done here is to be our own enemy and not trust the way of the world, and now the way the universe works. And here we're going to actually, we've been given guidance that you don't have to worry. It's like the Wheel of Fortune card and the Fool card. It's like, just go, the wings will appear. And right here you see, if you jump, your wings right here are going to appear. There are wings here, there are wings here, and you are safe. So put that helmet on so that you will be able to see that you will be like lifted, and it's going to be something that's going to be magnificent. Only we have to go through this tunnel for us to be able to birth ourselves. The last card that we picked in this line to explain what was happening is the Nine of Hearts. Fulfillment, harmony, and protection. Many tarot readers say you can't lie, the cards pick them up. I can't say that right now because you did not see me put these together, but you can see why, without any cups or without anything for lovers, it's a card which is actually like tying everything together, because it's one truck. This very much for me is about like a masculine energy, and these are like the feminine energy that wrap around. The Kundalini is rising, all of the mystical symbols are here. You are being taken on another journey, and this right here if you can see, are the spirals. That's like the mystic spiral. That's what the YouTube channel is named, right? For us to be able to find the wisdom in the core of that spiral, or that mystic spiral, that has the ability for us to ascend and to reach the light. And I think that having this card come here is a direct answer to being able to do what we need. It's like we're getting dressed for a grand affair, a love for ourselves, and a love for only once we have that grand love affair with ourselves can we love another. So while we are in our own camps, if you want to see it as you and your partner, whichever side you choose to be, or wherever you see your energies are, I think that we are all getting ready to come to the big, like, universal, like, ball at, like, which is going to be able to give us fulfillment of ourselves beyond what we need from another, but from our own selves. That each person standing at that party will finally know that they are so happy to be in their own skin and be who they are, that I think you may fall in love with everybody at that party. And I think it's bound to happen. So forget one, we'll have many twins there, because all of the people are finding a resonance with each other, and it's because everybody is like, who finds resonance is moving to the same place. So obviously all roads lead to the same place. You will be fulfilled, there's harmony, and there is protection. And I think that it's a card of wish fulfillment. So I think that you have wish fulfillment coming to you on many levels, for you to have courage in what you are doing, to be able to stand up for yourself, in you being able to speak your truth. There is going to be courage in you standing up for yourselves, in you knowing that you have whatever it takes to be abundant. So this card kind of like helps these three cards right here, which seem to be like, at least they give us an idea of where we are. It's not easy, but it's really worth it. So these were the cards I took out when I did the original reading. But of course, in my nervousness, I was like only too much in a hurry to turn the video off and see how it went. And of course, it just didn't load. I saw that video twice, and only these many cards were visible. So I think this would be like a better version of this for you to see. But I wanted to make it something that we have cards for ourselves now. So let's take out something to make it a little bit more mushy, because we have nothing here but like on our work ourselves. So at least we should have some hope. I do not think that any of these things about partners need to be, ending at, and everything was fine, or like, oh, one partner is, they have to get rid of this awful person in their lives. It's not that. It's not that at all. But we can still like have something. I think we all need something to have like hope. So I'm going to pick out a card from here. Have patience. So that's our card. It says, love is patient and kind always. And in this, you see a little girl sitting in a lotus, and she is looking at a reflection of herself in the water. Now, what can be more indicative of exactly what I explained here? The journey is, we are blooming. Each one of us is blooming to be who we are. Look at this. It's like a celestial landscape. And when we bloom into who we are, we have the ability to then tip forward and look in, and that's where you see your reflection. So if we look great, which is exactly what the reading is showing us, we're working on like bringing our best self forward. When we tip our head out and look into the water at a reflection, that's when you see your twin. And you want to make sure that you look into whatever is going to be able to give you something worth looking at, because that's who we are, that we stand in front of. Be patient with yourselves, be kind to yourselves. It's not an easy time. On the other hand, you're going to be like climbing one of the highest mountains, because the realizations you're going to have this week of with the full moon in Virgo are going to be pretty spot on in terms of like excavating things which we hide and think that that's not essential and that we've already done all our work. It's time for us to be patient and kind with ourselves. And once we look over, we can also see that there's like a whole other world out there beyond what we can just see here. And it's a really pretty, if you see this card like this, it's a really pretty world. And it looks like the same thing, right? Because it's like, it's a little bit like one of those dolls where it's like there's this world and the reality we see right now. And then when we look and when we get eyes to be able to see, we see a whole other world inside, and there's much more brewing in us than just the superficialness of like, does he like me, do I like him, when are we going to be together. It's about this journey which shows us that what is here, what is here, and what is here, each one of them is beautiful, and we meet right here where we find that there's a reflection from here and one above, and see then there's water on top here as well. This is just the way it is, and it gives me indication of it being the true eternal dance, that it continues, the cycle continues and continues, and that's where I think we will find our peace, and that's the kind of bliss and peace that we are looking for. Anybody who's doing any energy kundalini work is wanting to be able to have that lotus, sit on that lotus like the Buddha. I think I'm going to end the reading here, and thank you for watching, and it would be awesome to hear some comments if any of you actually see this. It's my first ever video. I'm extremely conscious about there being a camera in front of me in the tarot readings, but I hope that I have the courage to make a next video, and I plan to make them for our zodiac signs, so, and of course do the shuffling and be more interactive, unless of course I have technical failure and hide behind that. At least let me know if this resonates, if any of this makes sense, and I would love to hear from you. And right now I have enough time to be able to write back to each and every one of you who does write to me. So thank you for watching.